development final has been won by Howard College in 2018, a 16-10 win over Onehunga High, and a match that really showed that this this Howard side plays a nice brand of football. Ed Ware's their coach, mate. This didn't look like college football. This looked like strong, structured NRL footy. Has that been what it's all about?
Yeah, myself and our other co-coach Leroy Favese, basically the boys have been together for about just over 3.5 weeks before the tournament started.
That's it?
Yeah, the principal of Howard College, Iva Ropati, got the team together, and at the first meeting he said, "You're the coach." So yeah, took the week off. And
Are you a parent? Are you a parent out
Yeah,
here?
my son Hare was in the centres. Yeah.
So okay, you're a coach, your son's in it, you win the development final. What does it feel like as a dad to coach your son and win a final? And how big is this for Howard College?
Yeah, it's massive. They're not known as a rugby league school as such from out east, but we had a kind of catch call, one team, one goal, and our goal was to make the final of the development section, and we all believed in it, and game by game we knocked off the teams that we needed to make the final.
Well, I suppose the question here now for you is, where do you, as a coach, get your ideas of how to coach them in the style that you want to play?
Sure, I've coached a handful of the boys from about 6 to about 16, 17 through the Howard Hornets League Club. Yep. And so we had a lot of structure through those boys, and that's enabled all the other boys to jump on board, and with Leroy we managed to get the structure in early with only 3.5 weeks, so we're wrapped.
3.5 weeks is a hell of an effort. How frustrating can it be trying to teach young men structure when sometimes concentration spans aren't that great?
You yell a lot. They're really a good bunch of boys, no issues. They take on board what you're saying. Leroy set up our attack and it's fairly simple. It's a diamond shape, and as you can see out there, it worked wonders for us.
It was really impressive to watch. Quickly, who wins tomorrow, Warriors or the Panthers?
Oh, Warriors all day.
Okay, so here's another question for you. Warrior women against the Roosters. Who wins there?
Warriors again.
Ed, congratulations. Howard College win the development final. Well played, mate. Very well played. That is Ed Wee, the coach of the Howard College, who have won 16 points to 10 in the development final. We have one game still to come. And boy, they played, as he said, a very nice structured game of footy. And why wouldn't you? They just came from their little hooker too. As Motu Tony joins me now, the general manager of high performance. The Howard hooker, very strong, Mots.
Yes, very strong. And it was a game for the halves because they've been playing all week. So some of those forwards around the middle would have been tired. So I would have enjoyed playing hooker out there. Not so much early in the week when they're fresh, but certainly later on in the week.
You wish. Now you were talking about this as part of a new direction as the general manager of high performance about identifying halves. Is that a real concern for you looking around?
It has been for a long while for New Zealand Rugby League and also for myself currently, because Australia have the state of origin. They've got so many teams and development systems, and that's the area where they've always had New Zealand, is in the halves and the spine. So that's why it's an area of focus for ourselves.
Let's talk about the development of the game internationally, and the announcement over the last couple of weeks that there is a 3-test bonanza on the 13th, and then Tonga play the Kiwis on the 20th. How important is that for the reputation of the Kiwis to be rebuilt after a very disappointing World Cup?
Yeah, very important. We don't play as many games as we should, especially in New Zealand. So each opportunity we get to play, we get a chance to rewrite some of the wrongs that have been occurring previously. And I know the players are looking forward to the test calendar that we've got coming up as well, especially going away to England and then playing Mate Matonga in June next year.
Are you a bit nervous about playing Mate Matonga?
No, I'm not nervous because I don't have to actually take the field. I'm a spectator, so I'm looking forward to it.
Yes, but now you're sitting in the ivory towers. Are you still nervous?
Yes, I am. No, it's going to be a great occasion, and it gives us a chance to sort of, get one back on them. So that's what I'm looking forward to.
Always a pleasure having you here, Motu. Great call, by the way.
Yes,
Slipped into it like an old pro. As we see St Paul's and Kelston boys get ready for the main event. This is the Premier Grade final. St Paul's back in the final for the first time in 3 years. They are multiple winners against the last year's beaten finalists. It is the final of the 2018 Secondary Schools Premier Grade. St Paul's against Kelston with Monty Beetham and Dale Husband.
Thank you once again, Stephen, and thank you for you listening in and viewing through Sky right across the country. Here, these two proud schools going head to head. And Monty Beetham, you'll be looking forward to this, mate. High school sport is something that just has an edge of its own. two proud schools as well, and their reputation with rugby league, of course, go back many, many years. St Paul's have been one of the top guns. In fact, this tournament was their own for a long, long time. We've seen Kelston come in and take the mantle a few times. It's been shared around Southern Cross campus, and now St Paul's into Kelston. A familiar matchup as we see their lineup for today. And thanks to New Zealand Rugby League for their ongoing support of this tournament. Here's the Kelston Boys High School team. White, Lahingor, Payne. A couple of Paynes in there today. He'll be looking to do their very best. And Ioka is another name you'd like to keep an eye on as well. That's Karia Ioka. And number 6 is Vative in the mix as well. So a lot of familiar names. Monty Beetham with us today. Great to have you in the chair there, Monty.
And great to be here to witness what is a long-time rivalry over many years in this division, in this grade of schools. The heavyweights get to clash at it again. 3 years since St Paul's have been there. Can't wait to see what they do back in their return to the big stage. Yeah, well, they were given a little bit of a break too to concentrate on schooling issues, it would seem. But their love for the code is long-standing. There have been some fabulous players, of course, who've come through St Paul's. The most notable of them, I guess, of recent times anyway, would be Stacey. But certainly Bunty R4, I recall seeing him in a St Paul's strip not so very long ago.
Stay behind!
Jaylen Murray will get us underway here. St Paul's playing left to right.
Backwards.
In the maroon, the red, blue and white of Kelston Boys High School, who have possession of the football too. Just outside their 10-metre. Kelston's end of the ground. Solid hit there for Leighton Fino. That's him with the long hair and jersey number 12 for St Paul's.
Together!
The rivalry is something to witness. 25 minutes each half. As we see St Paul's in a wall of defenders in there. Sam Malte Brown, number 10 today. The 8 is Ezra Sosinamiti.
Outside.
And now the kicking game will be very important. It was in the last outing. Won there by Howard College over Urihunga, 16-10. And with the football, the fullback, Kyrian Fraser-Leo. There's a couple of names you've got to keep an eye out for. One, Christian Tuipulotu. Number 4 for St Paul's. That's the man I'm talking of, already spotted by teams, including the Warriors. The Roosters are having a look at him as well. Named in the tournament team last night. Good D there too from Kelston. It's important to get a decent start here as Malte Brown gets the ball out to Murray. Jaylen Murray already plays, I think it's reserve grade for Pointchev, so he's got some experience.
Well, you mentioned the development final. Already we've seen a real couple of level step up now in terms of the speed, the class of play, the ball handling. It looks really good. Firm track out there today. Strong win behind Kelston Boys. And they need to make use of that early. St Paul's back in the big time. They want to make sure that they're here to stay for a long time.
Well, there's some experience there as well. Dave McDermott is coaching the Kelston team. I think he enjoyed success with them 3 years ago. And of course, Dave McDermott with St Paul's and Francis Melly as well, coaching for the Westies. At the back is Fraser-Leo. Good chase, good D as well from KB.
Listen to that crowd. They're loving it. Smaller numbers, but huge in volume. Roaring. They love the physicality that you always see between the heavyweights.
St Paul's in possession, and here he is again, Tuipulotu. He's got the build, hasn't he?
Well, he's got the name too. Tuipulotu's been a name in rugby and rugby league for a very long time. He's a size of the man, very athletic, and he's going to cause havoc on their left edge all day. So too up the middle if they keep this pace of the game going.
Talavas is another name to look out for as well. Fino spinning his way to ground just short of the halfway line. Important work for Kamuhemu, who is the number 9 there for St Paul's. The kick is deep into territory. Octavius Tornew
And now 2.
Some wonderful names as well for these young men. Good chase by St. Paul's.
This is defence at its best, attacking defence. They got them kicked in the corner. They're barring up. They're coming off the line. Great of tackle there. Relieves the pressure.
And hats off to the runner as well. He does very well, the left wing, to charge forward. This is Tulu Ropeti. The tacklers, Matty Palu on the 40-metre line now. Kelston in possession. I'm okay with the carry there. Xavier Payne. JP White is your dummy half. Obviously using rugby jerseys, so not corresponding necessarily to positions. Sonimwala comes with big raps.
Sonimwala, tournament MVP, also part of the New Zealand 16s as a player. It's a huge rap. You saw the speed that he possessed and footwork. This one's shaping up to be a good one indeed. A little bit bunched at the moment in St. Paul's.
Tuipolotu has it. Just on halfway, just shy of dummy half for Kamhemu. Malte Brown. Wrapped up, big hit too by Xavier Payne. It'll be a nice old clash between those two. Great little stepping here. Here's a kick from the back row. Dayton Talivasa will it hold up and hit the post, in fact. Taken by Kelston. Ducking under what might have been a high shot cleverly to JP White, and now Kelston. Cross-field run. Short side effort. Like the attitude on display by the 19. It's Ben Weatherall. In 19, this isn't. Conrad Tua. That's all on out there at the moment there, Monty.
Well, it's inspired run from Tua. Much needed as well for his team.
White across to Yorker. Yorker Whānau, well known in rugby league circles, of course. A proud West Auckland sporting Whānau. Little knock on as well, so good for Kelston Boys High School. Who'll get the scrum feed on the 20-metre line. Gee, it's got some sting in the defence at the moment there, Monty.
Well, they have. They've got some sting in the defence, but it's made easier when you've got no one running with the ball carrier, no one even looking like they've got some shape, looking to potentially be a foil there. Great tackle tech right underneath the ball, one over the top. Tell you what, these men are throwing themselves about, especially with the vocal crowd. The pride on the line, as we mentioned, these are two heavyweights getting back into a long-running rivalry. So we see one of the Kelston boys on the ground at the moment now.
It's more than a Charlie, wasn't it? He fell awkwardly there. I hope it's not more serious than we realise at the moment. So the wind coming across the field, it needs to be utilised. I don't sense that it's a huge advantage to either team, but it will be needed to be factored in to the kicking game. So just have a look, there's some concern there. Don't see any Zambucks coming on at the moment. Again, just like to acknowledge Dating Conlon and also Sean Iwako for their organisational skills putting this tournament together annually.
Oh, it's a wonderful tournament.
Big Joe Vanganau.
Unfortunately, Joe's a little bit too old. He didn't play any of these, like myself and Motutoni. Geez, if these are around back in his day, Joe's also a man or former student of St. Paul's College, one who's played for that school over a number of years. Some great names coming out of that school. And don't forget, on the world stage against Australians many times, St. Paul's were there, and they used to win those matches on many occasions.
Yeah, it's got a very proud tradition. Is it Kelston Boys High School or Bulldog supporters? Bit of drama for the boys across the way after their exploits. Right, we're about to get underway. Elam Payne to feed the scrum for Kelston, taken away from the back by Tua. Here he comes. Samuela Vatuve. He's now only 12 metres from the try line. Great opportunity existing here as White pushes it across to the right-hand side. It'll fend off and back in, pop past late. JP White will spin towards the line. He's away from one, but he can't quite get across the line. Punched out Payne, Elam, that is, first receiver. Good defence as well from Leighton Fino. Has been involved in a fair bit of the early stuff as well. Fino, the second rower, back to the 9, who shapes up for the run.
Yep, I thought he was probably tackled then. Fury coming out the call, then he carried him over. See that time and time again in the NRL. His progress was stopped, but still they had time to drag him out over the line. Great thing about there is body height in position. If you don't get too low, this is what can happen to you. Numbers in the tackle. Very big, strong boys out there. Athletes on both teams. Very strong, especially for the age at school. See now what St. Paul's does to get out of their own end.
Again you go.
So Sione Moala, who gets us underway, and St. Paul's, look at the defence that's coming in from the Westies. They're ripping into their work as they must.
Go one.
So keeping St. Paul's at bay. Again out to Tuipulotu, and he's tackled in the end goal. Great defence from Zion Tanialu. I'm sorry, not the end goal, it's the 10.
Well, that's a shame, Dale. Very good energy. Line speed, getting off their line, making a big stop on Tuipulotu. Maybe a little bit of milking this one a bit, but it is what it is. No, I think it's a fair call. And now they relieve the pressure on this side now. They've got to use their feet a little bit more, maybe play the numbers game, pass in twos. So they're trying to be too physical, trying to come up and play individually, and that's not going to benefit the St. Paul side.
Steady hand is needed here from St. Paul's, working hard to just push themselves, get some momentum in behind them. 0-0 coming up to 10 minutes here in the grand final. St. Paul's in possession. Defensive work has been excellent. The run through the middle by Blade Kamuhemu has been effective. He's to the halfway line. Everyone's lining up for a bit of the action now. Shane Shepherd gets hold of the ball and says, give me a go at it. Moala gets the kick, it's big and it's perhaps long, taken at the back, and Octavius Toniu, superb. A late tackle.
Yep. I saw it, David Kalikale coming in a little bit late for my liking. Oh, it's a bit hard, he was in motion, but still was marginally late. And that's what you got to penalise on. The referee doesn't have the benefit of the replay. No fefe, don't be scared. Nice reminder there for the players. I'll tell you what, none of these boys are scared, otherwise they wouldn't be playing this grade and throwing themselves around the way they are, Dale.
When you're ready, go. Play on.
Probably Language Day today too. That's a good run, look at that, from Ezra Sosinamiti. So, he is just 5 metres out from the try line. Now they're starting to look good. Shane Shepherd with it for St. Paul's. Good tackle put on him too by Ioka. He's up to play the ball quickly. The big man's in there. Look at this charging run as well. Antonio Ofai. Ofai. Left-hand side, beautiful for Tanavasa. Tanavasa will score. Tanavasa is in to score.
What about the power of Tanavasa? He's built low to the ground. Came across from the open to the short side. But it's this, look at this. Nothing really on, came in behind a player. But just the power there. Front on tackle there, missed by Robetti. That is huge base strength as he gets across and scores a try. I think St. Paul's been guilty of being a bit too physical and direct and not playing with the ball, not playing with the smarts that we know that they've got, rugby league smarts. Tell you what, in the end though, that power was too much for Kelston to handle. Sustained pressure by the St. Paul side.
I've liked Tanavasa's work. Seen a few out there helping out as well.
Couldn't he play?
Team. Oh, he's a terrific player. But I'm really liking the attitude, the intensity that these two teams have brought to the table here or to the field. And to be honest, I thought that it was Kelston in the ascendancy there, but they fought back strongly. Nathan Tanavasa, one of the school leadership group. And that was a nice setup too, good communication. The dummy half was aware of him lurking around just behind the ruck. He came through with some power and made it too tough for Ropiti. You see a replacement coming on. It's number 6 making his way back in. It's Jalen Murray for St Paul's. Now looking to add the extras, St Paul's. Well wide. 4-0 scoreline, the big sky of Papakura.
That gives you an indication, doesn't it, of how strong that wind is coming across field. But you're right, though, about the ascendancy. Kelston seems to have the upper hand. For years, we've seen St Paul's bully teams through physicality and through the middle of the park, but it was Kelston boys who were probably getting the better of them at that stage. First blood to St Paul's, plenty more to come.
4-0, yeah, you get the feeling. It's been a wonderful tournament right through this past week. A very appreciative crowd on hand to see these two heavyweight teams from secondary school rugby league doing battle. Hear the crowd going as the wind-up occurs as well.
Together! Lock in and hold! Hold! Go one.
Blade Kamahimu's been good with his distribution. Finau is getting himself involved a lot as well. To centre field, backing back, and there's a penalty for a high tackle on the try scorer, Tanuvasa.
Well, they've got to be a bit smarter, Kelston. Their line speed, their intent to really defensively come up and make some stops have been excellent today. But unfortunately, penalties have really piggybacked St Paul's out of their own end and have given that way out, the easy way, which makes it a little bit harder for this side now.
Was Monty from Marcellin College, not here this week.
Yeah, Marston last year won the Development League, but they're not around this year. Of course, Marston College is the school of Roy Santasi, Joseph Parker, just to name a few.
Monty Leatham, Monty Tony.
He's a De La Salle man, Monty.
Oh, is he?
Still a Marist man.
Yes, fair call. They're right in the middle of the track now. The momentum starting to build here for St Paul's. There's a bit more climb on, and Kamuhimu has been very good. Blade, he's up to play the ball, and they'll use the left side. On to Murray. Murray squirts it down along the ground, and beautifully read at the back too, and taken by Tonu.
Kamuhimu, you mentioned him. He's just started to come out of dummy half now. Some decisive runs, smart runs too, which shows he's a footballer. Mututoni, high performance GM. New Zealand Rugby League cities after smart footballers, thinking footballers. And just showing signs of it then.
Antonio,
I'm not sure that that was warranted. Tasemane Lotima Evalu.
And more's going to be made of this one, Dale.
So Lotima Evalu.
Open-handed, you don't need it, okay?
A little bit lucky.
Control.
Yep, open-handed, call from the referee, so lucky to find himself on this field and still being able to contribute to his side.
Indeed, Monty, it's not part of the game anymore, is it, that behaviour?
Yep. No, they're okay.
Open hand, closed first either way, it's not a goer. He comes again, same man hits him. Liking the way he goes about his bizzo, Finau. Down the short side they come, Kelston this time. 4-0, they're down, 16 gone. Final of the secondary schools. Peeling back there to JP White. He's manhandled to ground. Sasifa.
Hold square. Hold.
So the Sasifa has it, and everyone's lining up now. This is Lahingoa. OJ Lahingoa. Conrad Tua. Dummy half work for him. This is Ioka. Offside.
Position. Offside position, and he's played at the ball. Offside position.
You can hear the referee in the background.
Okay, Kadio up here. When you're ready.
Kaliai Yorka. Strong carry there by Tasmanian. Lotima Ivalu.
Leighton, quicker.
Well, got to be careful now. I know it's not the NRL, but we've seen this. Repeat offenders, penalties. They sometimes go towards the bin.
Go.
Dua with the tap. Dylan Payne.
Over now, Blaze.
As you can see, 3 or 4 metres out from the try line. Looking to utilise the spin. He's driving towards the line.
Sure, let him up, Dayton.
Lotima Ivalu. Powerful and strong, but he couldn't get over there this time for Kelston. Stepping back on the inside. Tua trying to worm his way through or just find a chink in the armour to capitalise on.
Release now. Hold the line. Wait.
White. Standoff as Yorka. Holds it up nicely. Gets it onto the back to New. Octavius will play it. Stands, delivers to his feet. Yorka. Thought he might have attempted the pass with Vativate.
Go last.
So Kelston looking, St Paul's recovering. Desperate effort and cover there by Moala.
Yeah, now they've got the time. I want to give number 12, Leighton Finau, a bit of praise. Not only is he an athlete in what he does with the ball in hand, but it's just efforts on defence. I think that's his stop on Lotima Ivalu, otherwise he would have been in for sure. I love it when guys who can contribute want to contribute and have that work ethic, and that's what he's got, plenty of it. Great kid, New Zealand 16s as well.
Tuha.
Stay, Leighton! Leighton, hold!
Everyone's putting their hand up for some work now. There's enthusiasm plus.
Out together!
Kale up to his feet. White has it. Here he comes again. Lotima Ivalu.
Let go! Hold line! Hold! Go 3.
4-0's the scoreline, but it might not be for long. Kelston with it this time. White with options. He'll go out to Tua. He's away for one, make that 2, and Conrad Tua is in to score for Kelston boys. And he's been threatening for some time. In fact, his team have been threatening. And this time able to capitalise from close range. One of the best so far, Fino misses with the defensive play close to the line.
Commentator's curse. I gave the young man a rap and I stick by my words. This kid is something special, but Tua, he maybe isolated that man, realising that he's been working a lot of late. And it's all good halfbacks too. You challenge the defenders that are tiring through the middle, even on the edge. Great little fight back there from Kelston. Courtesy of their half. Now as they take a breather, both teams trying to look at how they're going to come back into this match. Probably going to be 6-4 after this kick.
Well, we saw a kick from a similar condition missed.
Yeah, that one is pretty strong, isn't it?
Great imagery. Well, that's an interesting look. It never comes.
Dale, you enjoying the quality of game that we're seeing here?
Yeah, very much. You know, the momentum being created. So a lot of understanding as they courier the ball through the hands. Yep, there's a lot to like about what we're seeing here this afternoon. But this will be an important kick. There might not be much in this game, and he hits it absolutely spot on.
Well, he picked it well. There's a break in wind momentarily. Timed it right, and he kicked it over.
Conrad Tua. I think that writing on them says, gee, it's cold.
Oh, it's very cold. My beanie on, a big coat jacket as well. Mind you, I'm a little bit older than these young men.
There's Nigel Vangana.
So he's 43 years of age, but doesn't he look young? Doesn't he look good? He could be out on that field. Nigel Vangana. The St. Paul's old boy as well.
He carved out a wonderful career, didn't he, after shining in Endicott's reserve grade team, and then went off to have remarkable success in both the NRL and the Super League. Great to see him back as well, and guys like Monty Tony. In fact, there's a bit of a roll call, yourself included, being here as well, Monty. Joe and Nigel, really good to see.
Yeah,
Sasifa.
I think as an old boy getting to watch these guys not only live but also on a national stage on TV, which is great. They should be in the front shop window playing the great game that they love.
There's some good guys out here on show this afternoon. Here's another of them, Mallorca. Had an option to go high and deep this time. He saves it up. Matthew Savelio has it now for St. Paul's. A spinning effort from Fraser Leo. He's the fullback for the proud Central Auckland-based school. This is the man everyone's got to read on to Pulotu. And making a little mistake as well.
Well, it's testing time now. Tuipolotu, Christian, big raps on him. Roosters, New Zealand under-18s, wider squad player. A couple of mistakes back-to-back. And no doubt he's a key contributor, so let's see how he bounces back. Character is something that they need to watch as well.
Well, there are opportunities there to capitalise on these little errors, and that's what Kelston will do now. So really under pressure here in the back stages, back few moments of the first half of this grand final. So it's Kelston. What can they do with the ball? The try scorer, Tuua, sends it on the inside for Sasifa. Plenty of defence in it. Tuipolotu trying to make up for his little mistake, and now they carry from Lohingoa. He almost loses the ball as he gets close to the line. JP White gets it. It's not the big men who are making problems here for St. Paul's, but some of the lighter framed men. Here's one of them, Tuua. Two, very elusive, hard to contain. Took a shot this time around. The one-off run from dummy half was always going to be difficult. They look threatening there. Yorker puts it in. It's a banana kick as well. And now Kelston come back, and St. Paul's are forced back into the end goal.
That's that defence we've been talking about. Their line speed, their intent, their decision to really try and force errors. That time, this could be a really crucial point of the match. I thought for all money, St. Paul's are back into play then, but now they get another set of 6 to really apply some sustained pressure on the St. Paul side.
Karia Yorker, you know, showing skills that belie his age, to be honest. Put the kick through and the chase. Really is the reason why Kelston have the ball right now and a chance to make profit just before the half-time hooter.
Yeah, the half pairing of Kelston have been pretty good today.
Get up quicker. Off.
So Kale to play for JP White, steps out, offloads now for Payne, the back rower, almost busts his way through two, had free arms, couldn't find the runner to link up with, still alive for White, out for Iorka, Iorka with a beautiful pass, and so close to the try line now, under the pump. St. Paul's at the moment, the hooter goes in the background, Iorka has a go, and it's St. Paul's who survived the raid. A very fine first half of finals football, 6-4 the scoreline, just the conversion in it. It's Kelston who leads St. Paul's at the break. Here's the first try that came through, and it was a beauty too from Talivasa. Great combination there, and he came from out of nowhere from behind the ruck. Was able to shunt his way through Lopotki's attempted tackle, and that was the first try unconverted. The second one came with a spinning effort from the half.
So what, you know, we spoke about how good their halves have been in their first half. Look at that show and go, and he does it on the man, Finau, that I've been giving huge raps on, the commentator's curse. But I think that half did come down to the half pairing of Kelston boys.
an overcast day here this Friday in South Auckland, but as you can see, a lot of enthusiasm from students alike and across the park. As we go into the huddle briefly here for Kelston boys, Francis Melly is involved with the police as well out in West Auckland, is he not, Monty?
Yep, he sure is. It's great to have a guy who's recently retired from the game with so much knowledge and expertise in the sport. And I even saw Dwayne Mann down there, a former Kiwi captain, and being at the Warriors, in terms of the Brains Trust and giving back to, you know, the quality schools that could play the game of rugby league and really help aid them in their careers. This is wonderful.
Kelston boys are proud sporting tradition in both codes, of course. And in the background there, you can see them just peeling away out of the huddle for St Paul's. This is going to be one heck of a second half, and just 2 tries in that first half, but a high quality match against with 2 teams who are well known to each other, and the rivalry stretching back decades.
Yep, I enjoyed that. I love the defence from both sides. Normally you get these players who definitely struggle with defence in the Warriors, or not Warriors, I should say, the junior grades throughout New Zealand and Rugby League. These teams seem to have it all, and no wonder with coaches of the ability that they have.
So just waiting on the okay from our broadcasters to get underway. You're watching Made in New Zealand Sport here, Sky, bringing you the action from the National Secondary Schools Rugby League Tournament. As we come to a conclusion, 25 minutes of action. Here he comes to, oh look, it's all on out there at the moment. Volu Lasati is in for Kelston. That's somebody who want to get involved early on. Elan Payne working hard as well. This is Talavasa, one of the very best too, Talavasa, during that first half. One of the Kelston boys inconvenienced in back play. I think there'll be a replacement coming on shortly. St Paul's who have the ball on the far side of the field. Here comes Fino. Kelston in numbers. Fino repelled at this stage. Back onto the 40-metre line he goes. Driven backwards as well. The kicking game important here in the second half. Up and deep into Zion Tanialu. Zion with a good return of football is to ground 8 short of the halfway.
Tell you what, the tackle tech of Kelston has to be admired. The shoulder thuddering shots, probably reminiscent of their coach back in the day, Francis Melly. He could use that shoulder as well as a weapon indeed. And we've seen that plenty today from his young Kelston players.
There's a breakthrough, the man we spoke of, Volu Lasati. Dummy half work for you all cup. Enthusiasm here, plus for Xavier Payne. He's centre field in 20 now. A bit of a knock on, doesn't take much. This game is tight and tough. Dave McDermott looking after the interests of St Paul's.
Well, quick little break for both sides now. A few messages from key players within the team, letting them know where they sit and what they need to do to get ahead. 2 points, that's it. You need some sustained pressure. They'll be ruining that mistake there. They're in good territory there, good opportunity missed.
Slow to get this scrum set. Here, Tulu Ropeti gets himself into the back of the scrum.
Okay, on you, Jalen. Out!
So St Paul's with possession. But maintaining it will be important. Tupulotu coming in with big raps. A couple of little errors in that first half. We'll be wanting to make up for it. Liking the work here of Conrad Tuua. One of the smaller players on the field. Spin, he's got a great passing game as well. Now St Paul's this time. Sam Mawate Brown, one of the bigger players on the field. On the halfway line, he plays the ball, and another of the big units shuffling forward, this time Ofai. Murray, Tupulotu gets a beautiful ball away to Matty Palu. Palu with it, straightening, looking to offload, gets a lovely ball away again, still keeping it alive. This is good play from St Paul's. Numbers out wide, intercepted by Ramon Tuimalovainga. He will not be caught. Away he careers downfield to pick up 4 points for Kelston.
Oh, well, what a run against play. Just going to wrap up St. Paul's for some beautiful ad-lib play, playing off the cuff and seeing what they're in front of them. But Toimalo Vainga, wow, against the runner play. He shows some great speed. So did Fraser Leo, trying to catch him and run him down. Look at the pace both men possess. Very good indeed.
Very good too. Look, it looked like a try, and it was going to be a great try if they had got it there, but that's what can happen in the intercepts. It's boom or bust. And Raymond Tuimalawainga, he chanced his hand, stepped in, put the arm up, tapped the ball up and picked it up, and away he went. Ton of pace. And into score, or more excitement here in this final.
Just the athleticism I've seen on both sides. It's frightening to see. And when they've got that ethic, when they've got the knowledge of playing the game, the football knowledge I'm talking about, then you start to see some good players of the future.
So there he is once again. Plenty of pace. Often it's the wingers waiting for something to happen that time around. Raymond came in and decided, well, I'm going to make it happen. It's a risky business though, because you can certainly leave yourself exposed out wide. But when it comes off, it certainly looks good, and that's the type of try that wingers love to score.
Well, don't you think his coach, Francis Malley, would be very happy? He used to love coming off the wing, putting some big shots on, and on occasion getting those intercepts. He was very good defensively, so he'll be very proud of his winger then, for coming up, stopping a certain try, and getting one himself.
It's the building on the momentum and the confidence within your teammates that a try like that helps too early in the second half, within the first 5 minutes. So here we are, just awaiting the conversion. The wind is difficult to read, it's been problematic all game so far. That one waved away. Francis Malley, one of the highest try-scoring warriors. I think his mantle, though, taken from Fusitua, wasn't it?
No, Fusitua hasn't got there yet. I think 23 was the highest score of the season. And I think Fusitua's on 22.
Yes.
See the boys playing in the final series this year, and I was there amongst the 5 tries that Francis Malley scored against the Bulldogs many moons ago.
Hey, stay behind!
10-4, good buddy. It is all on here in the final.
Hold them two! Stay forward, hold! Hold!
Ojai Lakingoa up to play the ball, and here they come. Kelston, fearless.
Obviously on it now! Hold square!
Motivate.
Hold!
Slowly get to his feet this time around. The frustration will start building here for St. Paul's, and they'll be wanting to just make a little bit of an inroad. The defensive work will get some sharpened focus you can expect here from St. Paul's. Be some fireworks coming up, I suspect. Down towards touch and at the back, taken here by Timor Williams. I won't go into the population of the schools, but I suspect it'd be way different.
Yeah, I think so. Not that I'm too sure, but I'm thinking Kelston Boys is the larger of the 2 schools. However, we know that the game through most schools is the game of rugby union, the other game. So that fact, I think, you know, probably even in terms about the pool that you can pick from.
St. Paul's have it. They really need to start picking up their game, their intensity. Plenty of communication needed out there on the track at the moment. They'll decide to go down the right side. Fino gets a nicely weighted pass. Now this is what we've been looking for here. That ball has gone loose, and now Weatherall comes up with it. And in response, the tackle is heavy on him from Sinimiti.
Well, it just hasn't been going their way, has it? No doubt about it. Poor security key. A lot of opportunities there. The transition from Kelston Boys straight into attack with the ball in hand after making plays. Something you like, which means that their fitness is on song.
Tonu Lauhingora wrapped up in the tackle of Kamuhemu. Right in front of the post, 20 metres out. Here's a chance. This is starting to shape up nice for Fatife. Wrapped up by his opposite number now, 12 out from the try line, slow to his feet, understandably too. It was a decent sort of a hit. Yorker has it here. He'll put the kick into the end goal and beautifully followed up too. Oh, they are singing off the same song sheet at the moment, Kelston.
Well, they're doing it all. Defensively good, attack-wise, kicking, the territory game. They have really shown over the years that I've seen them anyway, to step up in class. Francis Malley obviously doing a good job there.
Just good communication at the moment for the West Aucklanders. He bounces out for Lotimo Falu. Here he goes and rips into it. Charges forward. Octavius, now Witherall.
He's been good with Witherall.
He's been really enjoying his work. Not a big guy, but he's stronger. Perhaps his frame is deceptive. He looks up at the referee looking for some support as a weaving run comes from Tuwa. He's on the 10. Tornu. Now back to the back runner, and Elam Payne charges away, and I think he's got there. Elam Payne is causing pain for St. Paul's.
Absolutely pain for St. Paul's. Mentioned 3 years since they've been in the big time, in the big show, in the main match. At the moment, seems to be Kelston with all the momentum. They're playing well, playing as a team, defensively sound, making these breaks, coming straight through the middle. Great work. Elam Payne putting one down.
I like the lead-up work too. Conrad Tuwa and Yorker have been superb, the way they've guided the team around, but it's generated a whole lot of enthusiasm. It's maintained momentum, and there's just a wall of effort, both on attack and defence, coming in from Kelston at the moment. They're going to be hard to run down. Not impossible, mind, but there's just on 14 minutes to do something about it. And you mentioned that St. Paul's have really, made errors, uncharacteristic errors for some of their senior players, and that's put them on the back foot.
It has. Ioka, I think his kick got them into the corner, played their territory game, and that proved vital at that point in time. And the error come, as you mentioned though, Ioka to Ua, very good players in the halves.
These will be club footy players, won't they? And their experience is telling. Plenty to like. Going to a huddle. Kelston boys, Joel half done. They're some way towards holding the prestigious trophy aloft. Kelston 16, St. Paul's 4.
Well, I think St. Paul's need to pass the ball in the middle third a little bit more. Maybe use some feet, get down and play that ball quickly, because Kamuhemu, he is the key. We've seen him get out dummy half when he had a couple of opportunities. As he leaves the line speed up now.
Returns the football, Lotimo Valu. Kelston springing their step, understandably.
Stand now, Shay! Lock in!
I'll give the ball some air now. They've got plenty of decent runners. Running with enthusiasm and a bit of punch. Venom, as some describe it. Right side, smart kick. Taken nicely as well by Timor Williams. Tries to get around one. Williams confronted by the defenders, Tanialu in particular. Bunched at the moment, St. Paul's. They picked themselves a penalty which will push them downfield. Perhaps a timely one, and maybe the turnaround they were needing.
Exactly what they're needing right now. Although the body language doesn't say that they want to jump on it. That is key now. I think it's an important part of the match where they really need to either get some points on the board or get a back-to-back set. Some sustained pressure is what's needed. The energy levels seem to be favouring the Kelston boys hugely. Once again, their tackle tech right underneath the ball. Numbers in the tackle, the peel, beautiful. Slows it right down.
Ofai, Kamuhemu, Tanuvasa looks like one of the go-to men needed here. Of course, you've got a gun who hasn't really been able to get loaded up and fire. I'm talking here of Christian Tuipulotu. This is better field position and now something to build from. St. Paul's, they'll go down the right edge through Moala. Moala has it, and he's wrapped up. 10 metres out from the try line, still keeping themselves alive. A try will make a huge difference. What a run to the corner from Polotokopa. China, Polotokopa. I thought there was plenty of work to be done when he got hold of the ball. That's him with it there.
Sure there was. Plenty of work. He got away from one on the outside. He splits the two defenders. Jonah Polotokopa. Very good. Need it. He is part of the tournament team here this week. Now, we mentioned that they need to strike back, and now is the crucial time. He had a bit of work to do, but now his team can thank him as the proud supporters of St. Paul's got a bit more to be vocal about. We have a game on our hands, Dale.
I think we certainly have. And now this kick is important. Now the wind is there, but it will be a very, very difficult proposition to guide it through the uprights. Still, 8 points in it. Just a little bit more momentum and drive here from St. Paul's. There's always going to be an intriguing battle. Hope you're enjoying it. We certainly are. The gusto, the mana that these two teams are playing with, undeniable from wide out and off the left foot. So the preferred foot, it will be exceptional if he's able to get 2 points here. That's it pretty well, and exceptional it is.
Exceptional it is. But once again, as we've seen, he picked the right time with the wind to die down, but still, it's a hard kick in itself. The mindset you got to have. Wonderful conversion.
That was fantastic. The pressure on. Now a converted try. We know that should be locked up, and I know I might be jumping the gun here because we've got a fair bit to go on the clock. There's a slight pause, then 5 minutes of extra time, golden point. Determine that, but that's, of course, if they're locked up at full time. Been really enjoying the work here of Tukwa, Yoka, Moala, Taluvasa in particular. But the one and the go-to man, the one that's probably got the biggest chance for success for St. Paul's, Christian Tuipulotu.
Yeah, I think they might need to play some short sides to Tuipulotu, get him in the game. Great run to come back.
Antonio Ofai has really put his shoulder to the wheel. This time it's Matthew Palu. Quick play the ball that looked impressive. Remember, it was the intercept prior to that. St. Paul's looked like they were going to be heading for a try in the corner. That's duly being achieved here now by Polotokopa. Tanuvasa. Dayton. A wholehearted footballer. Here's the short side, and Jalen Murray gets a kick away. A roll towards touch. Comfortable enough with that. 8 to play here in the final.
Yeah, I just think with the defensive ability that Kelston is showing, I think St. Paul's need to pass that ball a little bit more in the middle third of the field. Tanuvasa is doing a wonderful job with his feet, but all the other players are sort of direct and straight up and down. The numbers that are coming into the tackle are stopping them from getting their second phase. And that is the sort of football that St. Paul's normally like playing behind. That man, Christian Tuipulotu, he needs a chance, maybe down the short side. He needs to get his hand on the ball.
Can they get the ball back quickly? Need to put in some jarring defence and hopefully spill the beans for Kelston and St. Paul's to get hold of the ball.
And you go, Sudane.
Just on 7 to play here in the grand final.
It's a funny setup from Kelston.
Here's Weatherall. He's been so good, Weatherall.
I think that was Tua, actually.
Oh, Tua, my apologies.
I'm now 4. Here, fellas. Hold.
Ben Weatherall significantly taller. This is going to be costly too. Mistakes and penalties could play out at game's end.
So stay behind his own. On you, Conrad.
So Conrad, what? Very self-assured rugby league player, Conrad.
Hold his head towards, wait for the foot. Wait, go.
So Ropeti has the football on behalf of Kelston Boys High School from West Auckland. Inside runner, picks up Lesati. Valu to his feet, JP White, that he, in fact, it's Octavius Tornew who has moved into the distribution role. That's in with the football now, Tornew. Elam Payne has already scored and made life difficult for St Paul's. Under the pump, their defence right now. Here come Kelston. Full of intent. Ose Lohingor. And now from close range. Repelled at that moment though. St Paul's must watch out. Here they come, Kelston. Back to Iorka. Iorka goes sideways. Looking to do just a little piece of magic. Now St Paul's have it. 5 to play after 20. Timor Williams on the 30-metre line. Savelio plays it. Here's Tupulotu. He's a little bit more space, Monty.
Yeah, you want him out on the edges, although he can carry through the middle of the field. Not likely to make the break, and the breaks that St Paul so desperately need at the moment. Down the short side will be best, or maybe on a shift. This is going to help their cause. They need to get the ball in the hands of that man, Tuipulotu.
So the penalty, a couple of metres inside the half. Temptation to kick to touch. Maybe should have used it. So Senemiti says, well, I'm happy to take it 12 metres forward and make that 15, midway, 30 and 40. Here they come, Talavasa. Wrapped up by his opposite, Elam Payne. It's been a good old battle between the back rowers. The city has been busy. Murray to ground, this time Palu. So Murray thinking about grabbing a few extra metres. Well, opts not to bother, he'll tap and go to Palu, is it? No, it's to Tuipulotu. Needn't be used as a battering ram. He's a little bit more savvy than that, but he gets a quick play the ball off to Kamahemu. Here it comes, here they come. It's St Paul's, it's St Paul's! And St Paul's are in through O'Fai. He's been good in the last 5 or 6 minutes, and this time he scores, and they are just the conversion away of levelling up. St Paul's in through O'Fai.
Look at the footwork of this man, as big as he is, the pace he hit it on, off the left, off the right. He's used that stroke and the sprint. Here it is here, look at it. And in a way, beautiful ball movement. Look at that, he came around, kept low to the ground. O'Fai, Antonio O'Fai, that was much needed. Been wrapping up Kelston defence all day. Not too much you can do about that. The footwork of the big man, the speed, the want to get over the line to get his team back in this match.
Sometimes it's just determination, isn't it, Monty? You know, you're hell-bent on getting there. He was using all the footwork, got to that defensive line, kept them a little bit guessing and just created that advantage. Well, now a really important kick here. A difficult conversion. We've seen a couple of them missed from this very point. But this time it's up to Jalen Murray. Not without a bit of humour, our young people. And now, it's his task at hand. To level us up, perhaps take us through to extra time.
Well, if you ever wanted extra time, now would be a good game to have that. Thoroughly entertained by two proud schools of rugby league. They've got a great display after a week-long tournament in the sunshine out south.
There's been some rough weather during the week, but certainly this game's been played in with a great attitude, good spirit, and now some nervousness as St Paul's to put the icing on the cake, the tri-schoolboy fight. He turns a left footer. So, Jalen Murray. Not the end of the game because for a couple of minutes still to go. Murray headset, off the post, off the woodwork. We saw it in the previous game. The wind is very challenging. 16-14 scoreline.
Well, coat of paint, that could be the difference now from extra time. Maybe that's enough for Kelston to sneak home. I think they want to back the defence. It's been good for them all day. This first set's going to be crucial for them.
So is there another twist to the tail? That's the thought. So just awaiting the restart here. What a super surging run it was to score the try by Antonio Ofei. But now, St Paul's.
Stay behind!
One eye on the clock. And a long way from home. 16-14. What a final it's been. There's the hooter in the background. The ball needs to be passed. It won't be passed. And it will be Kelston who win in 2018. It's Kelston Boys High School, the champions of the New Zealand Rugby League Secondary Schools Tournament. Once again, the West Aucklanders will hold the trophy aloft. A superb victory. They beat St Paul's College from Auckland in the final, 16-14. Well, the crowd are excited, as they should be too. A hard-fought victory here in a high-quality final. A fellow invading the pitch. Might be put on detention, but he's just in there to congratulate his mates. As we go into the huddle, congratulations to Kelston Boys High School. Francis Melly with success. The coach, they go into Kalakia or prayer and give thanks. The same will be done by St Paul's.
I pray that I thank you for leading us to victory. It was well deserved. We've had quite the journey to come here. All glory goes back to you, God. On our way back, please bless us as we, for both teams, may the injuries be healed in your hands, Lord. All our sins be forgiven. In your name we pray, amen.
Kelston Boys High School, the 2018 champions. What an outstanding final it was as well. Just the conversion in it. Thoughts as well for Jalen Murray. Had a chance to square it up there and it hit the woodwork. Let's go down and get some thoughts there from Karia Ioka. Had an outstanding game in the number 6 jersey for Kelston.
Well, Karia, you should be smiling because not only have you won this game for your proud school, but you've got the player of the day. That's for you, buddy. How are you feeling right now?
Oh man, I'm just so happy. I honestly can't explain. I've been in the team the last 2 years. We made the national finals both years, and I lost both of them, mate. So to be coming from falling short over the last 2 years to winning now, it's something I've never felt in. I'm happy as, and I'm grateful.
As captain, what do you think was the key for your side today? Because in the end, although the scoreline was close, it looked like you controlled the whole game.
Yeah, I think just sticking on the grind there. Our trainer, he always talks about us being a pack of dogs, and we weren't. I guess we were today, and yeah, I think just keeping in the grind. Yeah.
All set in the huddle, and what are they singing behind now in the scenes? Because it's been a vocal crowd, all proud.
Yeah, I love the crowd. It's the boys from the block, always with us, especially our Auckland comp. Oh man, they're just amazing. I love the block. Yeah.
You go and celebrate with your teammate. Smile.
Thanks, man.
The scenes, there are the scenes, and Katie Ioka deserving of the player of the match medal. It means a great deal to him, and take my hat off to him. Been to a couple of finals without success. St Paul's, of course, played a very brave and strong hand here today. There wasn't much in it as we witnessed the Kelston haka. Yeah, that's what this secondary school sport is all about. Memories to last a lifetime. This is the players' response. What a game, 16-14. It's Kelston beating St Paul's. Let's go down to Stephen.
Ladies and gentlemen, what a wonderful, wonderful occasion it is. The final of the New Zealand Rugby League's secondary schools tournament and the Premier Grade. Congratulations to Kelston, and also congratulations to St Paul's. Well, put your hands together, folks. They do it every year. They come out and entertain and produce what we love about the great game of rugby league. I'd allow now to talk to Dayton Tanavusa, the skipper of St Paul's. Mate, congratulations. So good to see St Paul's back in the big show for the first time in 3 years. Now, I know it's probably a little bit tough to talk about right now, but talk to us about the journey this week. How important has it been for the school to be back at the Nationals?
Oh, it's been an amazing journey with my brothers. We worked hard to get here. We trained really hard to get here. We didn't come off the result we wanted, but we still worked hard. We didn't give up. We worked to that final whistle. We never folded.
Really interesting to see that last conversion attempt goes wide. It's one of those things. But what have you learned about yourselves this week?
Oh, we learned we're a family. We back our school. We carry them all with us, even though they're not all here. We still carry them in our hearts, with our shield, with our Chris right here.
Mate, just say one thing. I met your mum before this game, and she said you're not the biggest bloke on the field, but you've got the biggest heart, and she says you lead this team beautifully, and one of the referees said you do that, so congratulations on leading your fine school to the final again, Dayton.
Thank you.
There you go, Dayton Tanavusa. A big round of applause, please, folks, for him. And we talk now to the winning skipper, Katie Ioka. You can take the lid off, mate. Take the lid off, come on. Oh, yeah. Congratulations, MVP as well. Let's talk about what this week has meant to the school. It's been a tough week. The loss of Toffee. How big an impact has that had on the motivation for the team?
Huge impact. We found out on Wednesday, Tuesday night. And we went into a game on Wednesday against Manurewa, and I showed it was probably the best performance from our team. And yeah, we love Toffee. Everything for Toffee. Kaiser.
You've been at the losing end of this final a number of occasions yourself personally. Now to pick up the big banana, the big trophy, how does that feel for you personally and for the school?
Yeah, that's amazing. I've been in the team the last 2 years, and we made our Nationals final, and we lost both years. And so to win today, it's a feeling I've never felt, and I'm just so happy.
How does it feel to lead a championship team?
Yeah, it's amazing. I don't really think of leading them. I just think of my boys being beside me and stuff. So yeah, it's just amazing things.
No team gets anywhere without a coach, and Francis Melly, we know what Francis did in his time as a rugby league player. Talk to us about Mr. Melly and the contribution he's made to this team.
He's the man. He's been on his own for not only school but club footy as well, and yeah, he just gives us the best tips. And yeah, he's the man.
Well, mate, congratulations. I'm now going to ask Motu Tony, the General Manager of High Performance for New Zealand Rugby League, to hand over the championship trophy. Ladies and gentlemen, your champions in 2018, Kelston boys. So there you have it. We are done in 2018. the Kelston Boys High School. They've been bridesmaids on a number of occasions. This year, they finally get that magical trophy, and they do it in style. Went right down to the wire. It's 16-14, the final score, and most importantly, they do it for a friend they lost this year. It's been really a big part of the school this week on social media, and they've done it for toffee. So there you have it, folks. In 2018, your champions in the NZRL Secondary Schools Tournament are Kelston Boys. And don't forget the great weekend of rugby league rolls on from 5 o'clock tomorrow on Sky Sport 2. The Women Warriors up against the Roosters, and then we build up to the big one, the elimination final in the NRL. It's the Warriors against the Panthers. On behalf of all the team that brought you the best of Secondary Schools Rugby League, have a great weekend. Kelston Boys are your champions.
Who makes a way for me?